Right. Motherhoodsexmarijuana.com. New logo, new things. Don't forget to come and check us out at motherhoodsexmarijuana.com. Go to our featured products. Yes, check out our $20 one click called A Valentine to My Body. Make sure you get yourself a copy of that book. And of course, to continue to support us, go to shop.spreadshirt.com/MSM gear. New things, new logo, new things to come through and support. Motherhoodsexmarijuana.com. I am Kai Storm. This is season 3. Be in the building, G. A weed man that I haven't bought weed from in a while, at least a month, just hit me up via text message to ask me to call him. And my thing is, for what? Like, the only thing we could have possibly to talk about is where I've been buying my weed. And if that's the case, that's none of your motherfucking business. Hey, hold up. I have a contract with you to buy weed strictly from you? I mean, is there some kind of fucking obligation I owe you, nigga? No. Ooh, these bitches need to shut up.
Get a free Cricket Street 5G phone when you switch. It's everything you wish.
Motherhood Sex Marijuana in the motherfucking building. And Ruby is on time. Yes, indeed. Let's get her in here because we have much to talk about. Indeed. Yes. Yes, Ruby doll. Yes.
Ooh, that is my queen. Oh, yes.
Okay, yes.
Get it with
That's
your
that
goddess.
Sex Marijuana is in the building.
Motherfucking building. Hey, what's up, y'all?
We choking on the weed. We choking on the weed. Yeah.
That tends to occur when you smoke some bomb shit.
Beautiful?
Man, queen, I feel so good. I got so much sleep these last couple of days. I feel like my bags are going away a little bit. But I feel amazing. And the reason why I feel so amazing is because I feel like God is answering a lot of my prayers. I feel like he's showing me some mercy after such a grueling heartache. And I feel like I'm loving on myself more than ever. So I feel good. You look ravishing.
Thank you, honey.
You look ravishing.
I am loving this right here. I actually saw on Instagram that they got some ones that are magnetic, so you don't have to actually pierce your nose. Because, child, as many needles as I've taken, I ain't piercing my nose now. Hold on.
Queen, I love the pain.
Oh.
It actually didn't hurt as much as I thought it would.
Oh, okay.
You know I'm crazy.
Well, shit, girl, let me tell you, they actually selling on Instagram the ones that are magnetic that you can just put on your nose like that. So I was like, ooh,
man,
that's the way to try it without trying it.
Well, the only ones that I'm interested in that sort of thing, I think they have some that release like essential oils in your nose. And for that makes sense to me. I feel like if you want to do just aesthetics and just have like that look for aesthetics, then I feel like you kind of whack. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, you
I'll be
know.
like, you need to just pierce the motherfucking thing. If you don't like it, then that's fine. You know, you can just, it'll close up eventually if you don't like it. My mom hates it, and that's fine. Speaking of mothers, I just have my mom out here. For those of you that know me personally, you know my mama lives in California most of the time. We
Uh-huh.
try to get her out here in Washington. She was just going back and forth, and then her situation hadn't panned out very well. Excuse me, while she was out here. Excuse me. And so she loves actually being in California. So she's living with family out there. Long story short, she comes out here in Seattle from time to time. My sisters live out here. I live out here. And she'll like do her little rounds and then she'll bounce. You know, I call it her tour and whatnot. And I really like that she's able to do that. For one thing, for somebody that doesn't even have her own business or anything like that, she really does what the fuck she wants to do. And she's been doing what the fuck she wants to do since I was little. And so this lady has taught me how to like live off of a very meager social security check, which my dad was getting. And she made us feel like we had money in the bank and all that. So I do appreciate that lesson. I kind of looked at my mama like she was a fraud. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh my gosh, you're here presenting this sort of thing. But in actuality, she was really honest with it. She let people know like, hey, I'm living off of the government check. And then when my dad passed away, he was able to leave his like retirement or shit, whatever, to her. So that was nice. But I don't know why I went off on a tangent. Oh, we were talking about moms. And I don't know. I guess I'm appreciating my mom more, that I'm going through bullshit with my own kids. And I'm sorry that it has to come off like that, but it's usually through hard times that you understand and you humble yourself. But this particular situation that we're going to talk about is something I couldn't even talk to my mom about.
Indeed.
Kai, what can you share with people what today's subject matter is and how it affected you, or do you want me to go first?
Well, we can talk about today's subject matter. Definitely. Today's subject matter is basically, we both, Ruby and I both encountered situations. And it's funny because until Ruby mentioned her situation, that I actually, remember my situation, realize what I did and what I haven't done in the situation. So that's what brought this conversation. Ruby may have had a conversation with her child following her situation, but I haven't. So my situation was last year when my daughter was doing remote schooling. I happened to just, roam through her tablet, and I go to the pictures because I know for a fact, the kids take a lot of just foolish pictures and just do videos and stuff like that. And I just happened to see pictures of my child's private parts on her tablet. Immediately I got upset. Immediately I deleted the pictures, went in the garbage can, deleted the pictures there, and yelled at her and just basically said that don't do it again. And I guess the situation just flew out of my head as soon as it flew in. As soon as it happened, it was as soon as I forgot about it. And when Ruby mentioned her situation, which brings up today's topic, is how do you speak to your children when especially young children, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and anything under 11, how do you speak to them when you find them in sexual situations, or like masturbating, or just touching, or taking pictures of private parts, things of that nature? How do you speak to your child about that? Because like I said, I haven't had the conversation, and I totally forgot about it until Ruby mentioned her situation. I'm going to go ahead and let Ruby talk about her situation. But mine was just like, I just kind of just let it go. I didn't even speak about it, and I haven't even spoken about it until now.
It's very sensitive in nature. One thing that has helped me throughout the process, and in like, just because I don't judge you at all in terms of being emotional about it, because it's a very emotional thing. Mm-hmm. And when you're dealing with having been raised by a generation that doesn't talk about these things, particularly, you might pattern that. And I know in a lot of ways I patterned the things that my mama has done, just because that's how she felt was the best way to handle the situation in the moment, given her resources, her life knowledge, or whatever, her values, her principles. And so to my daughter, I shared with you one instance, my queen. Ooh, get that merch, by the way.
Yes, we must. We promoting the merch. We making sure
definitely.
The merch is in the building.
Rain, shine, serious, or a negative moment, whatever. Merch, buy your merch, peoples, please. But so I let you know about the masturbation thing. So I had caught my daughter masturbating. She was in the shower. She was in the tub, and I almost felt that I felt uncomfortable in the fact of, I felt like I was invading her space. I really did. But then I was battling within myself, because I'm like, oh my gosh, we haven't even had this conversation. And like, how do you even know to touch your pussy like that? Like, is how I'm literally talking to myself in my head. And then to my demise, something even more serious happened. And Lord have mercy, I wasn't going to share this, but here we go. I come home. My partner and I come home after handling some business, and the house just felt like weird. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like it wasn't quite right, you know? Anywho, long story short, I had him go up and check on the kids while I was busy doing something else. He comes down and says, brace yourself. We have to have a serious conversation. Please don't lose your shit. I knew at that moment I was about to kill somebody. Let's just be real. So we go upstairs, and my daughter's naked. My daughter's 6.
Whoa.
And my nephew, who's 7, is standing there looking guiltier than a motherfucker. Long story short, they were going about in some adult behavior.
Lord.
Had we not caught them, I don't know what the fuck would have transpired. It was very hard for me, Queen. I lost my shit for a few days. I couldn't stop crying, because I tell you, the first thing after the frustration or the anger and the shame and the embarrassment, straight up, and then just like feeling this real big feeling of failure is really what your queen was going through at the moment. And with the wise counsel of, some people that I had to talk to, or else I was going to just die, I realized a couple of things. Number one, the world is very, very vast. Like, I couldn't possibly protect my children from sex or, anything that's harmful for them, for too long. You're going to be exposed to things that I can't protect. Also, sex is very natural. It doesn't mean that you haven't it at no 6 years old, though. That's for sure. But I mean, this was a whole process. And so it went from understanding, okay, now you're masturbating, to you're potentially ready to have sex, and it's under my watch, because it might as well have been. It doesn't matter,
because that's exactly what ACS is going to see it as.
Exactly. And so we had a long conversation. I talked to both of the children separately and together, and we uncovered a lot of things, and I had to forgive myself and release myself of the burden of like, hey, this is not your fault. Because of course you don't want your nephew or your daughter fucking anybody,
Obvious.
let alone themselves. You know what I mean? So yes, this is a very fucking emotional, it's been an emotional roller coaster. What I also learned in that moment was it's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to mimic and they're going to do what they feel is necessary. Now, were they ever to do it again, then we'd have some issues. And so I literally have had to take precautions in making sure that they're not even alone by themselves too, because I can't risk it, you see?
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
Yeah, and I felt like I was being too careless. Why? Because in here, I'm not expecting my little babies to be humping on each other. I wasn't expecting
the
that.
fact is we're not expecting it, but at the same time, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of our responsibility to see that, you know, sex is everywhere. Like even in their cartoons, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even in the cartoons even in the adult cartoons that you know, we watch, Family Guy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Sex is being discussed everywhere. And let's just be honest. When you, as a grown person, because you know, you live in an apartment, and you know what I mean, your apartment is not like huge where, you know what I'm saying, you're watching your TV shows and it can't be overheard by the children or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They can overhear your shows, they can overhear the topic, the subject matter, the music that we listen to, you know what I mean? It's not like, you know, when we're listening to music in the house, you know, we listening on our headphones, you know, it's a speaker so everybody can hear. So sex is around them. So so one thing for sure we can't do is blame ourselves for, you know, exploring that, because the fact is it's in their face. It's absolutely in their face. You know what I mean? And again, just like if there's in a, you know, in a situation where mom and dad live in the same house, you know, they might overhear. They, you know what I mean? They might wake up in the middle of the night and the door's cracked and they might peep in real quick. You know what I'm saying? Things are happening, but the conversation to have now is let's discuss what you did, and let's discuss how we not going to do this right now, because yes, it's okay to do, but it's not okay to do at your age.
Absolutely not.
With my situation, I like I said, I haven't had the conversation, but it definitely gave me the mentality of, you know, if you ever have some type of electronic, I got to make sure and check behind you and look at the pictures and make sure you're not. But at the same time, I don't want you to. At the same time, I realize that I don't want her to feel bad for looking. Because we as grown women, we all gotta look. That's part of self-care, self-love. We gotta look. You know what I'm saying? And all she was doing was looking to see what it looked like. I mean, hey, you know what I mean? So, but you know, again, all of us in this situation could be going through this situation and not, you know, our first reaction would be, you know, we got. Of course, it's going to be surprise, shock, amazed, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we got to figure out a way to dial that shit back down and then give an explanation. Because even as I was thinking about this subject, I was saying to myself, what if I found my daughter doing the same thing your daughter was doing? But I mean, and I didn't even know about the whole nephew thing. The whole nephew thing is just presented just now, but just the whole thing of touching herself is just like, wait a minute. I would be angry and I would want her to not do it again. But at the same time, I would want her to understand that it's not a bad thing that you're doing that, because everybody does that, you know? So
right. Exactly.
It's like how to explain that.
Exactly. And I think, first of all, no one knows the answers to this shit. And there might be some clinicians who study human behavior, but if you are not put in that position in that precise moment, with the being who you are, you're not going to know somebody's perception about it. You're just not. And that's why I love that we can discuss this here in this safe space that we've created, because anybody who's listening to this right now may beg to differ, may agree, may have had similar situations, may have some answers to these questions that we're talking about. So go ahead and feel free and breathe. And, you know, as long as you're coming from a building standpoint and a standpoint of helping people to understand, no one's going to knock you for that. In fact, it's very welcomed. I don't know all the answers to this shit, but I didn't want my daughter to feel like she had to like go to somebody else for questions, especially when it comes to something so serious. So we have questions about sex, pregnancy, why she doesn't want to have sex now and why she shouldn't have an interest in it. Just things, you know, just little simple conversations and shit. And I felt that it helped me. It really helped me. It probably helped me more than it helped her, because just me being able to talk about it was like, okay, we doing this. This is real ass life right here, you know? And then why I bring up my mother as well. And it's not like I feel like she wouldn't understand, but I remember my mom pulling the covers off of me. I was probably about my daughter's age now, and I was masturbating ferociously. I remember I've been touching myself since I was 4 years old. Where I learned it from, I don't know. You know, I don't know what's up, but I've always been very highly stimulated as a child. I've always been kind of like sensual just by nature. And so when she caught me, she beat my ass so bad. And then my dad beat my ass. And I just remember feeling, and plus I grew up in a very like religious household where it was like everything was just like, any sin was just like, oh my God, you're horrible and you're going to hell.
And I get you, and see, that's what I'm saying. I get why you wouldn't even tell your moms about that, because at the end of the day, her response would be, well, or what you think her response would be, what did you beat her ass? And honestly, you know, if we're thinking about it myself, that's the main thing I said to myself, because yes, I am the beat that ass type of parent. You know what I'm saying? My children can testify to that bullshit from before they fucking conception. Like, I'm that beat that ass motherfucker. So the thought to beat that ass would probably come forth in a situation like that. But then I would have to stop myself like that. Like, I thought about, like, before we had this conversation, I thought about this, because I was like, yo, I would have to stop myself, because last thing I would want her to think is that it's wrong to do. It's not, it's definitely not wrong to do. Like, it is the best stress reliever. It is the best way to take care of yourself. It is the best way to look at a dude and say, look here, I don't really, bruh, what is you saying though? I know what to do for me. If you know what to do for me, then we cannot get together. You feel me? You saying,
I love masturbation.
So I want her to understand that, but at the same time, at 6 years old, anytime, first of all, I don't want her to really be thinking about something like that before 13. Like, honestly, I would accept something like that happening after 13. You know what I'm saying? But 12 and under, 12.99 and under. Nah, fam, we not here. We not co-signing 12 and a half to down. You know what I'm saying? That's a no. Don't even, all you do with your private parts is wash them. You make sure they're clean. That's that's the only thing you're doing with the private parts. Okay? Simple as that.
I feel you.
Yeah.
it's complex. So however parents feel the need to communicate that, they will. And it's not for us to judge, but the best way is for us to think about the best method for ourselves, how we
Indeed.
choose to communicate with our children. I got my ass beat a lot. I turned out just fine. But
Indeed.
it's like, but then it's like we all choose our own path. And one thing that I learned too was not to blame my parents anymore for shit, because I felt like straight up, the more that I was looking at them for and blaming them for shit, I wasn't taking, not only was I not taking responsibility for myself, but I'm also showing my kids that they can just blame me for shit that I have
mean,
nothing.
the main thing, the main foundation of the game is no judgment. No judgment from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Don't give it, don't accept it. You know what I'm saying? Because real talk, this is not something to judge about. I mean, it's regular human behavior. Like this is not deviant behavior. Like to punish somebody for something like this is not deviant behavior. Yes, we exert a level of strictness based on age, you know what I'm saying, based on maturity level. But other than that, no, fuck that. No, there's no judgment here. We're not judging anybody here, and we damn sure ain't trying to hear you judging us. Slow down with this judge.
For real though. I
Slow
need a
down.
lighter, so I'm just doing that. I'll be right back, Queen.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Shoot. Yo, by the way, though, so wait a minute. After this, are we going to talk about Homegirl?
Oh, we definitely got to talk about Homegirl.
Oh, we got to talk about Homegirl, because out of all the motherfucking shit going on, and well, first, let me just say this about the subject of, talking to your kids. Like I said at the beginning, we, we're women, we're trying to figure it out, we're growing with our kids, and motherhood is a process. It's a growing process. You know what I'm saying? You make mistakes, and you know what I'm saying, and it's all about owning up your mistakes, even when you're not a mother. It's about owning up your mistakes and try, us helping each other figure out how to get by those mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And obviously sex is a conversation that we must have, that we all have to have with the children, and it doesn't matter what age they are, as you can see. Like I said, my daughter, both of our daughters are 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? We got young children, so this is a conversation. So in this day and age, this is definitely a conversation that we, have to have. And you know what I mean? And if you have any opinions on it, let's hear it. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Let's hear it.
Exactly. Also, one thing I had to remember was, like, okay, I'm very vulgar. My family knows this about me. My queen knows this about me. It's not
shit. They ain't
surprise.
Never been nothing nice about my mouth, bitch.
Oh, I'm sure
there's never been nothing nice about my mouth.
I'm sure your king would beg to differ, though, on that, Miss Lollipopsicle.
Yes, I'm just saying there are some attributes. There are some attributes, but yes, but when it's time to read and check a motherfucker, best believe.
Definitely.
These are the lips that will get you pissed all the way the fuck off.
Yep. She ain't lying about that. But it's just, I don't know where I was going with that. I was just imagining you cussing a motherfucker out right now.
I'm imagining that you were saying that, you're a vulgar person at home, therefore the children, you know what I'm saying, see that. And but see, I don't call that vulgar. I call that keeping it all the way motherfucking real. Like my children would, when they step out in the world, that's what they do. They talk to people, they keep it all the way the fuck real. That's one of the main lessons taught at home. Keep it real. I'm gonna tell you straight up how I feel. You don't like it? Oh well.
Exactly. And if you was to cuss me out, Queen, I would know I done fucked up somewhere. And I know that you love me. But sometimes it does have nothing to do with love. It's just like, hey, you just have to know that this isn't working right now. We need to regroup somewhere. We need to take some corrective action. And for that, I really admire you and your boldness. And I was just bragging to the people, it's like, yeah, you'll cuss a motherfucker out, but you love me. So
Exactly.
I'm on your list. No, but I love you. But with that comes respect. You build respect with people. That's why you have that. Otherwise, it's like you need to prove yourself. No one needs an approval or validation from nobody.
Word.
And so with my take on sexuality and the vulgar, I had to check myself from being too vulgar in front of my children because I'm a free thinker. I'm very big on open communication. There's things that my kids say in front of me that I would never even try to think in front of my mama. But we're more progressive than I grew up. So yeah, you're going to speak your mind, you're going to be respectful, but I do want to hear everything. So long story short, I had to think of, okay, there's a balance that needs to be had. I can be open and free, but there's a balance because I can't say every fucking thing in front of my kids. I don't want to.
Well, yeah, I mean yeah, I get it, because the fact is they don't need to know everything. They just need to know what relates to them. And as far as keeping it real to everything that relates to them, then yes, that's a go. I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? I do that on a regular basis. Anything that has to do with them, yes, I'm gonna let you know what it is, what it ain't, where you fucking up, where I'm fucking up, and we just going keep it G. Like, and therefore, when you move in these streets, you move in these streets the same motherfucking way.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's some G shit.
But yes, honey, yes. In these C19 streets.
What's up with your homegirl?
And the main reason why we got to talk about this is because in these C19 streets, it is absolutely ridiculous to manipulate. I mean, yes, manipulation, it exists. It's going on everywhere around the world. But this level of manipulation based on C19 situations is just crazy. This woman calls herself Angela, the great Angela, the genius, whatever the fuck her name is. But this bitch lives in Michigan. She's a lesbian. And somehow she built up followers based on two things: her weight loss, and based on this cult that she has called Daddy's Girls. And all the women in her Daddy's Girls cult, they recruit themselves into the cult. Because how you recruit yourselves, you start by first of all, this cult is on TikTok. You start by you putting yellow hearts around your name, and you make nothing. All your posts are on TikTok about her, including her videos, talking to her, talking about her, and eventually, if you get her attention, you become a daddy's girl. And once you become a daddy's girl, you gotta start giving her money. You gotta be on her lives every Saturday. If you get her mad, she's telling you to cut yourself and pull out hair. And all of this from the comfort of her home in Michigan. No matter what state her chicks are, she is mind controlling these women. The BBLs is who she concentrates, big, beautiful Black women, who she concentrates her flock of. And they all, and the women that are in the cult, they're happy. They go on TikTok and tell people they're happy. And the funny shit is that TikTok been trying to get rid of her for the longest, and she just keeps coming back. And her popularity keeps going up to the point where she had she's literally on an article on Rolling Stone magazine. Like
What's this lady's
Understand.
name again?
Angela the Great. She calls us either Angela the Great, Angela the Genius.
Okay. So my question to you, Queen, is who do you think is wrong here? Angela or her followers?
I think it's both. I think it's definitely both. But at the same time, it's more her. Because yes, these women, because everyone, the way it goes is the way it's been reported as far as all the research that I've done, is that every one of these women immediately. Oh, I forgot. They also get tattoos of her name on their chest.
Okay.
They tattoo her name on their chest. They do that
Okay.
too. So, and they pray to her like she a god and do all of this extra shit. So,
Okay.
and like I said, I think it's both because yes, these women willingly walk into this lifestyle and start doing what she wants them to do, and allow her to control their mind like that. So yes,
okay,
it's partly her fault. It's partly their fault. For allowing themselves, but at the same time, maybe it's not even that they allowing themselves. It's just that maybe these women are just looking for some sort of attention, and then they just happen to fall in to that, just wanting attention, and then because of wanting attention, they go into all of this fuck shit with this woman. And the funny shit is that she tries to, the way they try to make it sound like it's some kind of BDSM lifestyle, and no way in hell. To me, I mean, not that I know too much about BDSM lifestyle, but from what I know, that shit doesn't even mirror in any way, shape, or form BDSM lifestyle.
Well, I was gonna say, you'd have to really have not only understand the BDS lifestyle, or actually no, you'd have to really gain a sense of understanding it, even if you're not a heavy participant. And this is why I say that, because I frankly don't think that anyone is wrong. I don't think the Angela lady's wrong. I don't think that her followers are wrong. I think she's providing them with a value that they're seeking. Like, I feel like people love to worship things. They're or some people do, and some people are the worshipped. And I think that the fact that she can manipulate all these people is she's tapping into that sorcery shit that people may call magic, people may call mind manipulation, energy control, whatever, what have you. Yeah. But she's doing it rather successfully, it sounds like. And then as far as the whole like BDSM situation, like for instance, I found out that I have a hunger for a slave, like a sex slave. Ooh. And I have this passion and this desire. Now, what I'm not gonna do is hold somebody against their will. So if somebody's like not into, like, I'm not gonna go and kidnap some bad bitch because I think she's hot and have her as my sex slave if she doesn't want to be there. Word. Like, she's gonna have to willingly submit to me. And the further that I get into the BDSM field, and I have a really strong, not only passion for it, but for what I like. And I like the fact of somebody wanting to be possessed. I like the fact that them trusting me that much to be like, okay, I submit to your will sexually, because I'm not trying to control a motherfucker like that in my real life. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. But in the heat of our role playing and in what we create for ourselves in that moment, it's like it's such an intensifying feeling. I can't even describe it. Now, I would say she's doing kind of what R. Kelly, like, it reminds me of the R. Kelly deal, for lack of another example, because you could look at him and be like, damn, he's a fucking monster and blah, blah, blah. And that's fine.
Which everybody did, of course.
Right. Because they did. But it's like, okay, well, these girls wanted that. They were full participants. And let's not mention the motherfuckers that had his back throughout the whole endeavor and probably participated in the same things, but they're not that popular that people don't care about them that much. So it's like whatever anyone's doing to exploit this man, yeah, you're doing, I mean, you're really shaming him for what he and other participants are just consensually doing. And that's the difference. And then people put their shit on it, their values or their thinking or whatever, which is fine. Everyone's entitled to your own opinion, but people are also entitled to have their passions and what ticks them off. Like, I don't know, some horrible people like were able to manipulate people to do and such, and other wonderful people. You know, we think, I don't even have to name the list. Y'all know who they are.
Right.
And people that are mentioned. But that's what that is. That's complete mind control. She's completely, yeah.
I mean, that's yeah, definitely. It's a definitely high level of mind control, because, you know, even according to all the research I've done, it's like she's only actually had sexual relations with like maybe a couple of her, you know, girls. And it's but according to her TikTok pages, you know, she, you know, the ones that were alive, you know, she had mad different followers from all different places, and she wasn't having sex with none of these chicks, but they were definitely sending her money, buying her gifts. You know what I mean? Some people, you know what I mean, there was one girl that was reported that was talking about that, you know, she almost became homeless because she kept sending this chick money. And it's like, yo, like that kind of level of, you know, mind control is real crazy. And yes, you know what I mean? But at the same time, yes, these were all grown ass women. Now, what I believe got her on the eyes of Rolling Stone is because recently she made some posts that she was trying to recruit some 17-year-olds and 16-year-olds, because apparently in the state that she lives in, which is Michigan, apparently, you know, that 16 is the legal age of consent. And it's like, baby, you are you starting to dip into people's children now. Now, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do all this with grown chicks, and grown chicks are following you into your shit, fine. But if you trying to recruit children now, you need to be put a whole stop, especially with like I said, because according to her you know, rules of her cult, if she is upset with you, she, you know, gives out punishments, and punishments could be cut yourself in the leg, or pull out your own hair. One girl cut a whole A in her name, in her leg. And it's like, okay, you doing all that, but you a grown woman. But if you trying to recruit children to do some shit like this, now hold on.
Then the question is, what's considered a child? What's considered a consenting adult? And when the state, it's, you know, what's interesting as a citizen in the US is like, okay, in this state, it's this way, in that state, it's that way. It's just like, okay, you know, that shit's just fucked up. You're dealing with a broken system. All kinds of values are being grayed out. You know, you don't know what's right sometimes unless you have your own true values. And yeah, I don't think that a 17-year-old is capable of doing something, is capable mentally, emotionally, spiritually. No, I don't. Living in this earth and having experienced life as a 17-year-old, raising a 17-year-old. And yeah, no. That's my perception, and that's also yours, I know, Queen.
Indeed.
And then it's just like,
of the day, that's too young. Like if these are grown women, 23, 33 odd year old women, and they're willing to, you know, do what is required of your group, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Cool. But once,
where do we draw the line, right?
Recruiting young kids, anybody under 18, you wrong as hell. Like, where you come from? Because no matter how much, you know, how much the a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old has lived. You know what I mean? They could, yes, at 16-year-old, 17-year-old, they could have lived a whole life where, you know what I'm saying, where sexually they understand themselves and understand what they want to do from what they don't want to do. But still, to this right here, what you're talking about is completely adult behavior, and it should be adult behavior no matter what state it is. Above 21 is adult. Fuck 18. Yeah. Adult is 21. Let's not have no teen in your age. If your age ends with the word teen, you ain't grown. You ain't
and
grown.
The child that, you know, the adolescent or young person should be devoting that to themselves. You know, be that passionate in loving yourself. Do what the fuck you want to do. Why would you emancipate yourself from being in a parent household only to be in another one? Because it would take some manipulation to convince you maybe that you wouldn't see. I don't know. That's my perspective, and I'm sticking to it, because there's this whole, like, as I don't know. It's just like 18 is the general age that we've established. I still feel that that's too young. I think if you can't buy alcohol in the state, then you shouldn't be able to make other adults' decisions.
You can't buy alcohol or weed. Thank
you. What? Okay. Let's just understand, like, whatever politicians are behind these regulations or whatever the fuck. Like, all right, well, you see how this doesn't make sense, right? And so, yeah, we may not have the antidote for it, and we may not have the answer to clear it overnight. No, but we're gonna still call y'all out on your bullshit because it's wrong as fuck. Speaking of which, shout out to Miss Nia and the OR Project. Let's talk about the OR Project. It's such an amazing organization. I'm so glad that you introduced us to Nia. For those that haven't heard about the OR Project, it's pretty much an organization that is gaining funds to emancipate people that have been wrongfully charged of marijuana charges. And these are you may have family members, you may have been affected yourself. So if you're interested in getting a part of it, please check it out. The Project OR, I think, is the link. And then we'll be promoting that as well. But no, shout out to me. I'm so glad, because it's like, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be upset about something. But then it's like, what are you going to do about it? And so in this matrix society, exactly, this matrix society that we live in, we have come to understand that money is power, right? And so we're putting our money where our mouth is, make a contribution to it, and then also ask how you can be involved as well. Exactly. It's an amazing project, and I hope that whoever the fuck needs to sign what they need to fucking sign just does it. Let's just say that.
Yeah, because I mean, how ridiculous, I mean, think about it. How ridiculous it is that in 2021, C19, 2021, 2022 about to hit us in a hot second, because the commercials on the TV are already talking about Christmas and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It's about to be 2022 in a minute. You know what I'm saying? How stupid it is to have a weed charge on your record, you know, in preventing you from, you know, getting a job, or preventing you from applying for an apartment, or applying for a loan for a car or a house. How stupid is it when there's states when there's parts all over the United States where weed is literally becoming legal, where, you know, companies are like Amazon and others are no longer even testing people for marijuana when they, you know, hire them for their jobs. How stupid is it to have a marijuana charge on your record still fucking with you? No, so the OR project,
Inhumane.
you know what I'm saying? Nia, her name is, let me make sure. It's Nia Tally Gill. She's a law student. She is creating a organization called OR Project. And literally, she is gaining funds to to help her hire lawyers, open an organization to hire lawyers to help people expunge marijuana charges, so therefore they don't have them on their records. Now,
Yes,
this
and
is
help them
important.
transition back to society by providing
Indeed.
resources that they need.
Exactly.
Because it's like, it's shock value. And of course you're causing a whole bunch of PTSD because you're taking somebody out of a familiar organization, even though that's the goal. But it's like, what then? And that is the most humane thing that I can think of. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just so passionate about this.
Oh, no, that because all this information needs to get out. As a matter of fact, right now on our Instagram page, we have a post about her campaign, her GoFundMe campaign. You should definitely go check it out. The link is on there. Definitely click on the link and hit her up. I found her on LinkedIn. Actually, she found me on LinkedIn by hitting me up in the inbox, which, like I said, always happens to me. But at the same time, I think part of why the reason this happens to me is because me and you are so passionate about this podcast. We are passionate about getting this podcast to be successful and making sure we bring you new content. So of course, the Lord and the good weed is just like, hey, go check her out. Yeah.
Connect you the dots.
Yeah, girl, go check her out. That's somebody you need to be talking to. And honestly, now as you bring that up, I got to bring up a gripe, because this week, matter of fact, because this week, which is the first week of November, in downtown Manhattan, they were actually having a cannabis exhibition all week downtown in this place called Jacob Javits Center. They were having a cannabis expedition, and God knows, if I could have gone to one of that shit, I could, because it was a whole week thing. If I could have just went to one day out of that whole shit, I would have went. Why couldn't I go? Because in New York City, where everywhere, when there's a gathering more than 3 people, they want you to be vaccinated. They want you to show a card that says you vaccinated. And right now, Kai Storm is not vaccinated. And like my whole family, we want to actually just, keep the whole we don't want to be vaccinated thing up going. But the way shit is going in New York City right now, it is like, it's almost getting to the point where it's like, if you don't get vaccinated, you're not going to eat. And what I ain't going to do is starve. You know what I'm saying? I haven't made the decision yet, and I'm still pushing through it. But and that's one of the main things I'm speaking into existence, that the money I need, the wealth I need, the whatever 9 to 5 I need it to come without a requirement for me to take this bullshit ass shot. Because what we don't want to do is take the V19. We don't want to take V19s, nobody V19s. We don't want to.
Well, I'm wondering, why the fuck are people that have taken the shot contracting it? So what the fuck incentive does it have at all?
Yo.
That's what I'm wondering. Yo. We had a family gathering. This is real shit, dude. Family gathering out here. Family from fucking Hawaii was out here, from all over, right? Samoa, everywhere. For my rest in peace, my cousin passed away. So long story short, we all gathered over here. I bring my whole family because I don't know when the fuck we're all gonna see these motherfuckers. Respectfully saying that. Mm-hmm. And when we all go back to our homes and everything, I understand through through the grapevine, my mom, that I have 2 cousins that have contracted the COVID and a nephew. All three of these motherfuckers have gotten the shot. Hey, let it be known. Let us share our stories. Let us compare stories, because something ain't right.
And see, that's the
I don't want
thing.
to take that motherfucking shot either.
The thing that they keep saying. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Like, for what?
They keep promoting that that you can't naturally block yourself from the shot. That you need the shot and you ain't gonna catch it. You could still catch it. You could still fucking catch it. And I feel the reason why you can catch it is because the shot is giving it to you. And I ain't trying to walk in and get some shit that you just gonna be giving me. Like,
one cousin now I hear is in the ICU.
Oh my God.
This is like, it's like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm not even saying one shots or whatever. They are getting their shot. They are avid. Hey, we have to get our shots, whatever. Hey, that's fine, dog. Do you? But what then? What's happening now?
Exactly.
If anybody has
you allowing that shit in your body.
I don't know what it does, that mixed with the fear, the anxiety. I don't know what it does to trigger that shit to fuck people up.
Word.
But hell no. Whatever we can do, Queen, to not do that shit, we gotta
trust and believe. I'm on that. Whatever we can do to not do it. Trust and believe.
Whoever I gotta lie to tell you that I got it, I don't know.
My children, they go to they've been tested a couple of times at school. That shit has always come back negative because again, we take care of ourselves naturally. We got all the key ingredients to make sure motherfuckers stay healthy up in this bitch.
Clean freak. COVID or not, use a clean freak. I've been up in your house.
And I was even before COVID. We was doing that, so it's like
COVID had nothing to do.
Motherfuckers all weird and shit.
No.
Like, where you come from?
No.
Like, you
COVID
just started taking care of yourself. You just started washing your hands. You just started Clorox and everything in your house, nigga. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Stop playing with me. Like,
shit, my shit can be messy as fuck.
I'm on that. I don't want to do that shit. Real talk. I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to do. I want to find a way to not do that shit. I mean, even like the other day, I had to the letter that you sent me. I had to because apparently Africa used it for one of her jobs, and then they asked for for specific a church or religious attachment. So I just found the address from one of the churches around the corner and just put that shit on the top, made it shit like that shit was like it came from the church. Like, here you go. The fuck? Because that's the kind of shit I'm gonna be trying to do. Because I'm looking at you like, look here, I need to eat, and I will wear a mask in your facility if I gotta come in your facility on a daily basis or on a hybrid basis. But I ain't trying to get that pissy ass shot. What you not gonna do is fuck up my naturally okay system, because my system is already naturally okay.
Right.
Like literally.
Right.
Like literally, like the other day I was talking to a recruiter, and the recruiter asked me, have you ever taken the COVID test since COVID came out? I was like, no. And he was like, no, for real, no, for real, nigga, you heard my answer. No. Why I'm taking the test for what? I'm fine. I've been fine. I've been taking care of myself since before then. Excuse you?
Real talk, big facts. And it's just interesting. One thing again, if you're listening to this, dude, if you want to get the motherfucking shot, do you, bro? But don't be looking at us no type of way because we choose not to. Please don't, because I'm not judging anybody. In fact, it's very personal. It's just like whether you decide to wear a condom or not.
Indeed.
Whether you decide to eat pizza with meat or not. It's your motherfucking decision.
Exactly. Whatever you know what I'm saying? It's literally your personal decision.
Yeah.
And it's none of my motherfucking business.
Yeah.
My
as
health
our
and your
decisions
health is not the same health ever.
Yeah. Real talk, man. What the heck?
Yeah, we always have some good conversations, honey. That's always the best part of getting together with you, honey.
Of course. I love you so much, Queen. And this is such a fun ride. Please buy our merch. Please subscribe
Yes.
to the channel. We need
Buy
more
our
subscribers.
Buy our merch, subscribe to the channel. Make sure one click the poetry book that we got on our website. Absolutely follow us on all social media. Spread the word. Tell a motherfucking friend. Shit.
Yes, and we're gonna be putting some OnlyFans content out there. So it's gonna get.
When she say we, she mean her. Cause
oh no,
we both. You understand? Cause
there's some wholesome
I got
content.
a crazy that he kind of very particular and stuff. So I gotta make sure and say that that's the little words on the bottom that says yes. That's just Ruby.
Let me clarify. You can put anything. You can even teach somebody how to sew on OnlyFans. It doesn't have to be sexually related. Now, there may be some sexual content on that OnlyFans because that's where we'd be able to promote it. But if it has to do with any dick sucking or pussy licking, it's probably going to be me that's demonstrated on there with a guest. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, hey. Yes.
That's what my queen is trying to say. Now, she's still going to be on there, but it's going to be tastefully done and the way she wants to present herself. And that's up to her. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Basically,
yeah, exactly, queen. We got it.
Because we got to make sure and get the disclaimer because the crazy, you know what I'm saying? He don't listen or he pretend he don't listen, but then he'll come out and be like, hey, I was looking and you said some things I didn't like.
Hey, shout out to your king. Like, I have a lot of respect for him. When I was out there in New York, man, he could have just made sure his family was straight, but they made sure Queen was straight too. So thank you so much. It's been nothing but respect. And I do some wild shit. And so I do appreciate that. I never felt judged by him, if anything. We all do our thing. But shout out to Kai's King. You know who you are, King.
Absolutely. And the fact is, judge who? At this point, he is literally on shit like everybody else. Let's everybody live our best life. Let's everybody mind our business. Let's everybody take care of business. Let's everybody get money. You know what I'm saying? Let's everybody get money. Let's everybody, let's not get money the wrong way. Let's not get the money through manipulation. Let's get our bread the right way because motherhood sex mother is definitely gonna get that bread.
Yes, indeed. Because it's only the natural order of things. And because we put it out there and our intentions are good because they're pure and we can look ourselves in the face and say, we're proud of our work. Indeed. We can be like, hey, as crazy as these, the topics are and how controversial our ideals or our perceptions are, I feel confident enough to be like, well, my daughter knows who I am anyway, so I don't feel the need to hide this from her because she knows who her mother is. Again. And she knows what her mother fucks with. Again. And so, yeah, real is the best as way. Yours. Keeping it real is the best way. I know how, you know what I mean? You're the embodiment. Why be fake with the niggas that see you every day? Why be fake? No, let's take it one further. Why be fake with the niggas that came out your pum pum? I can't. So on that note, Queen, I love you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're going to end this off here. Motherhood Sex Marijuana in the motherfucking building. Yes. Love you, honey. Love you too. All right, later. Bye-bye.